My dear friends, thank you for accepting the challenge and embarking on this journey. I'm leaving this message as a closure to our 21-day journey, but I wish you to know that I will be here beyond this date, and you should know you can call on me whenever you need. I know it might not have been easy to accept and complete some of the challenges. I know part of you may have resisted and felt vulnerable. I know because I went through the same thing myself. I know because tearing down beliefs that you have held for years and that does not serve you does not go without a fight, even when those beliefs harm us, even when those beliefs do not serve anything in our lives anymore. They are old and familiar to us, so we keep them. We hold on to them and find comfort in the pain that they cause us. Many times we hear in the news of the woman or man who stayed in an abusive relationship for years, and we wonder to ourselves, why could he or she not leave or do something else? But I ask us to turn the question around and ask it of ourselves. Why do we not leave? Why do we hold on to our pain and find solace in them? And more importantly, why do we look for our worth in the eyes of someone else and find endless disappointment? We do not feel worthy, so we compare ourselves to others and hold on to the values they hold. But everything we seek is within ourselves. We are born whole and with clarity about the things we desire. But we have been taught and have become complicit in letting others direct our paths, and we fall into the trap of needing validation from others. And yet we know that we ourselves possess the virtue of self-approval, of self-acceptance unconditionally. We need not measure ourselves against others. It is irrational. So my bigger challenge is what needs to happen in order to be free, to set ourselves free. We have a choice to make. We must decide now, because one thing we cannot replenish is time. And so ahead of us is the future self we have always wanted to be, and behind us is the path that led us here. It may have been a circular path, but we are here now, and we have the choice now. Will you step forward? Will you lead from within? Will you finally choose the life you have always wanted to lead? There's no time for indulging in pain and anger and endless justifications for our anger at being wronged. Taking and mastering our lives mean that no one can make us angry. That is an emotion that we choose for ourselves. It is a decision that we make for ourselves. No one can make us feel bad without our own consent. Remember, resentment is constrictive and forgiveness is expansion. By choosing forgiveness, we are choosing to be greater than our circumstances. If we want happiness, we must let go of our sadness. We all experience pain. That is life. The choice is, will our pain be on the way to success, or will it be on the way to failure? I know there is a devil in our minds, who whispers the things we want to hear so that we can stay in the place of pain and failure and comfort. But it is that keeps us back. And so the question is that the life that we want to have lived? It is scary when we step into a new world, when we feel that when we fail and we have to rise again, and we feel as though we are alone in the world. But we grow when we face our fears. We grow when we face resistance. We grow and expand. We're clearing our minds now. We're clearing the clutter and all the things that we have internalized that were not our own. And with this clarity comes great responsibility for our emotions. Our future and our actions is our responsibility. It's not enough to know something in our minds. We must act on it. It's not enough to gather intellectual knowledge. We must act on it. Knowing and doing must be married. Many of us take courses after courses. I used to be that person. But we do not truly experience transformation. We must practice what we have become. No one else holds our happiness but ourselves. Our love for ourselves must be unconditional. There is no better half when we are whole, when we know that we are whole. We may have experienced chaos and trauma, but those created cracks in the glass, great cracks that let light come pouring in. And from that chaos, a better order. Millions of people want change, to change their lives, but they are too comfortable in their situation and too afraid of leaving their pain behind. So we let the negative thoughts control us. We look to the past for guidance, but the road ahead is uncertain. We can never know what may come. It's all a leap of faith. History only talks the story of what has happened, what has been, but not what is to be. If we believe in the possibility of what we can do and be, then we cannot be afraid. There is no time left to be afraid of failing, because even if we do it and we fail, at least we will have lived a life worth living. You have a version of your life, so step into it. There's no time like present, and even as we face the storm, and even those who knew us when and cannot accept who we have become, so they try to pull us back in, keep going. Because you have embarked on a new journey. Keep going. Freedom may be 1,000 miles away. Keep going. Self-love may be 1,000 heartaches away. But let your light guide you from within and just keep going.